Alright, so we're back down here, and a lot of my plants need repotting, including this little fella here. Or perhaps I just need to put it in like a pot like that. Slightly larger, but not too large. Let's check our fella over here. Also rooting. And they need their watering today. They were quite, most of these were quite soaked because of the drip irrigation method. Even this fellow, who I didn't even think could get back up, is doing well. But yeah, they need to be watered today. I was hoping those guys over here would deal with the water, considering their roots are all in it. That's a root right there, all aerial roots coming down. Oh, that's another less. These are the remaining bottle gourds, all I have left of them. And as you can tell, they're pretty soaked. Now that's probably because the water is wicking up through the soil and going up. Same method I used with my Venus flytrap to allow it to not dry out, the sphagnum moss not to dry out. And we got our fella here, and look at that. Gonna have some flowers soon. Now that's just Rex. Beautiful, beautiful plant. Alright, and we'll just move them over here. And we got our peace lily over here. You know, enjoying life for the most part. But we got this main stalk, we got that, and we got that over there. So that's nice. So far I haven't seen any bugs in this room yet. Well, not again. I did see a spotted moth in here, but I couldn't catch the bastard. And then where the heck that was in the first video, this one insect. But we got, I mean, the only pest we're really worrying about right now is our fella right here. That's the apple tree, by the way. I just put it in that pot. But this is like my quarantine zone over here. Spider mites gone to the English oak, and a really good solution to that is just put outside. But it is really hot outside, and there's been heat advisories for the past few days, just over and over again. Getting real hot for the plants. So I think I'll eventually put it out there. Water it heavily before I put it out there, and then put it out there. Yeah, those fellas, a little bit too little light. They like low light settings, a lot of times poinsettias, hence the name, or not the name, but hence where you put them. You put them indoors, they're an indoor plant, so they like less light, but that might be a little bit too much. Anyways, enough talking, let's get to repotting. So if we look here, this fella I knew was eventually going to grow up, and they have. And this fella has significantly grown up. All those roots on the bottom. It would be nice if they could wick away some of this stuff. And this fella as well. But I'll just deal with this water separately. Alright, we got our pot for our Baltic Blue Pothos. And so far, if you look at it, that's a new leaf, that's a new leaf. These are some more matured leaves, I'm thinking. That's an old leaf still, but at least there's new growth. Got a little bit of potting soil. I gotta reclaim a bunch of potting soil from some pots outside, but it'll do. Time to see what the roots look like. All right, yeah, my method was just a little bit effective. It is very moist. All right. Okay, now it's in. Maybe just a little bit too snug, but there's some wiggle room up there. Now we're going to wait a little bit for this fella to just dry out a little bit more because this soil is way too wet, caused by, once again, the wicking of the water. Now onto our next fella. Slight root out the bottom on our, this is a Philodendron syngonium, by the way. On our syngonium, just a few roots, so this might be a little big. Yeah, that's probably the best I got for it. And then we're going to put this pot for this fella and just swap pots. And this is all the soil I have indoors. I'll have to run outside and get some from some dead plants. So this is what's left over from the garden. Poor yarrow and hollyhock. These fellows, that was such a beautiful arrangement. I didn't even get to see it flower because it died because of the heat. Jeez, everything is hot. As soon as I got out there, it was just hot. That's all. This used to be basil, apples. Oh, poor fella. This used to be my grape cut fern. That was a nice fern. Small little fella. And then Japanese maple, of course. This was probably another apple. I had to bury them in the ground. Also, this fella still has a root system. And moisture. Still moisture in there. Beneath the soft layer of just mud that accumulated from the rains. Back to work. That was such a nice arrangement. The Mother's Day arrangement I did as well is mostly dead. There might be some yarrow still left on it, but everything else is so dead. Now that's some hot soil. We're just going to sprinkle that kindly. Try and get our plant positioned in the middle, just so it has enough room to grow and doesn't grow over one side or anything like that. And that should probably be good for now. Now I just gotta water it. Let that soil settle. And then that should be good. And that is our syngonium. Now we got this little fella here and squishy, because it was also there. But slight root growing out the bottom. I could probably wait, but why would I do that while I'm doing everything now? So, all right. Now this guy is good to go. Just gotta water it just like all the rest. All right. Now, let's look at our biggest guy of them all. Not the most rooted of them all, that fella is. But still. Well, actually, maybe this one is the most rooted of all, considering they have aerial roots. Anyways, we're going to pot them up in this size container. That'll give it a lot more growing space on the bottom. It might be a little bit too big on the bottom, but it'll grow into it, surely. All right, so this fella, not too bad at all. Now I just gotta put in there, so that's the root. All right, now we got this fella. and it's rooted up. And the reason why these fellows were doing so well was because usually in the summer it gets humid in this basement, and we didn't have the dehumidifier going, so potential for mold, but good moisture for plants. Now this is crap, what was it called? Epipremnum aureum. This is a species of Epipremnum aureum, or type of it, so it likes a lot of moisture. I mean, just look at how big this leaf is. It's crazy. I didn't even think it would get that big, but of course it's a more tropical plant, so it's producing roots, aerial roots that go down and all over here, and it loves the vine out as well. I was originally trying to grow this plant in my room to just let it vine down and do whatever it wanted. So I might try that again. If not, oh well. All right, what's next? So far, we got our main fella there, and this is, oh, I forgot what this was. Like, what was it? Maybe a type of philodendron, I forget. But it is mighty rooty on the bottom. All right, now that'll work. Now, one thing I noticed about this fella is this right here, that. And if you look at it real closely, that's an aerial root. This is also like the longest, the tallest stalk it has. So once again, it is a tropical like plant, just like our Epipremnum aureum over there. All right, so now this fellow is situated, and those aerial roots are still going down. There's the one there and the other one I showed you. So, but judging by this, this could be separated, and this could be separated, and this could be separated, just looking at the top. So that will be a future project. Well, anyways, that's all for this video. It's nice to finally get that out of the way, because I have a lot of repotting to do. And this is just some of it. Got a lot of repotting to do up top as well. And you'll see a video probably after this one about repotting cactuses and potting mix that I will eventually find. Alright, see you guys next time.